Happy Friday, television family. It is the 16th day of February 2024. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Batteries not included. They're sold separately. Sorry. Ready to head on into the weekend? I know I'm looking forward to the weekend. Beautiful sunrise going on right now. We're going to have a gorgeous day today. Very pleasant, dry, lots of sunshine. A little cool temperature-wise. Nothing we can't handle. It's 21 right now, and we're going to have a bit of a trade-off. We're going to warm up into the weekend, a little rain perhaps here and there. Gradual warming trend. It's going to be downright mild by the middle of next week, but the trade-off is no sunshine really, with the exception of today. It's going to be a nice day today. We'll have those forecast details for you. Lots of lawmaking going on in news. They're busy in Olympia on the short year this year. It's a short session. We'll check in with what's going on there. As we're cranking out them laws, we'll have that in news. Lots of sports to get to. An exciting game last night that we were proud to bring to you in the District 6 4A Big 9 playoffs between the Wildcats and the Sunnyside Grizzlies. Eastmont lost. Their season is over. Gave them a battle at the end. We'll have highlights of that. Kraken won. They beat Boston in Boston. That's cool. We'll have highlights of that as well. And a complete rundown of all the high school basketball playoffs this weekend. There is a lot to check in sports. In the back half of the program, Tom Nees, my guest. Tom Nees, of course, the executive director of Serve Wenatchee Valley, but he's going to be transitioning to a new role, which is actually an old role. He's been wearing two hats, Tom has, not only with Serve Wenatchee Valley, but also with the Common Ground Community Trust, and he's going to go overhead and take over the Common Ground Community Trust on a full-time basis. We'll get an update from Tom Nees, our good friend, in the back half of the program. Lots of things to get to today, and of course it's Friday, 5-star show. That's what we guarantee you. 5-star show on a Friday, or double your television viewing pleasure back. Let's take a look at what we have here around the valley as the sun is getting the job done over the East Wenatchee bench. We have gained 12 minutes of daylight since Monday. We're up to 3 minutes of additional daylight each day. That's kind of cool. Sunrise this morning, just about now, 7:05. Sunset, 5:25. 10 hours and 20 minutes of daylight. Beautiful sunrise there, and you can see the snow. We'll have the snow totals for you, by the way, from around the area here in just a couple of minutes. But we have that light dusting of snow now that we didn't have about 36 hours ago on Birch and Badger Mountain. Lake Wenatchee has a spectacular view this morning. Look at that. Just beautiful. Gorgeous up there. Good morning to Kaylor Glenn, Dirty Face. Looking good. That salmon-colored sky. Beautiful day up in Lake Wenatchee. Go get some cross-country skiing in while the snow is still there. Good morning to our friends at Lake Wenatchee. Good morning to our friends in Manson. From on top of the Manson water tower, a couple of water towers in Manson, if you're familiar with it. And we have a camera on both of them, actually. That's the best one. So that's looking out over to Manson Bay and over to the south shore of Lake Chelan from Manson. We haven't used that camera in a while. And this is going to be the 5-star right here, baby. Billy Goat. Look at that. Drop dead gorgeous. Hello, Billy Goat. Good morning to Pateris and Bridgeport, Brewster, Omak, Okanagan, Riverside, Tenasket, Orville, and Montz. Beautiful view there. Yeah, love that. I could just. Those Sky-Fi guys get lucky. They're the ones who get to go up there in their snowcats or their snowmobiles or their ATVs to do the maintenance, and they get to see that view with your naked eye. That is a gorgeous view, but it's nothing like it just being there from high atop Alta Lake, about 4,000 feet above sea level. How much snow did folks get around here yesterday? Here you go. This is as of 5 o'clock or about 6 o'clock. Last night. Leavenworth leads the way. Leavenworth got about 5 inches of snow yesterday. They got more snow in Leavenworth than they did at the summit of Blewett Pass. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, anywhere from an inch to about 3 inches, depending on elevation. East Wenatchee got a little bit more than Wenatchee did, snow total-wise. 3 inches in Ardenvore, the gateway to Cottonwood. Plain got a couple of inches as well, but it's going to start melting as we work our way through the weekend. From the National Weather Service. That way, if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. Sunshine, you want it, you got it. It's going to take us a little while to get there because we're only at 21 degrees right now, but it will eventually get up to 37. Our normal high this time of the year is 42, so it's going to be cooler than normal, but bountiful sunshine. Partly cloudy tonight, 24 for the overnight low. You'll wake up tomorrow with a few clouds, and then the clouds will be thickening up. Weak system rolls through, not packing any kind of moisture with it. It'll warm us up a degree or so, but not a lot of sunshine, I'm afraid, on Saturday. Slight chance of light snow on Saturday night. I mean slight. We don't expect any snow at all because the overnight low is going to be right around the freezing mark. We warm up even more on Sunday with a 40% chance of rain in the afternoon hours. On Sunday, we'll top off at 40. By the time we get to the holiday, President's Day, for a lot of people, you're off on Monday. We're not. We're going to be here on Monday. We're not going to work real hard, but we'll be here. A little rainy, a little foggy, and a high of 42, and we'll be kissing 50 by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday. A lot of these warmer temperatures have to do with the fact that simply we're having longer and longer days rather dramatically. We're gaining about 3 minutes of daylight a day, and that certainly helps warm up the planet. 6 minutes after the hour, what happened yesterday? We'll let you know with the news. It's next. You're watching the Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Gorgeous sunrise, a rather cool 21 degrees. We'll be right around 37 or 38 with lots of sunshine this afternoon. Gradual warming trend with not a lot of sunshine, if anything, a little rain over the weekend, and we'll be above normal by Tuesday and Wednesday. It's 8 minutes after the hour. The Senate capital budget proposal was released yesterday morning, and it allocates $1.3 million to the Leavenworth Affordable Rental Project. Senator Brad Hawkins had submitted a budget request for the funds in collaboration with Upper Valley Mend and the mayor of Leavenworth, Carl Floria. If approved in early March, Upper Valley Mend will have the opportunity, thanks to the family of Marson and Marson Lumber, to dedicate 31 apartment units to affordable workforce housing. The mayor says while Leavenworth has grown its tourism workforce by over 500 workers in the past decade, it has not provided housing for those workers that they can afford to live in. Eastmont Superintendent Dr. Becky Berg is going to stay on for a little while longer. At their January 22nd meeting, the school board decided to extend her contract until the year 2027. Dr. Berg took over the job after longtime Superintendent Garn Christensen retired in 2022 after 15 years with the district. Berg joked that she won't be sticking around as long as Garn did, but she is excited about the opportunity.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Steady board leadership, steady superintendent leadership is beneficial for the district, and that trickles to the classroom and to kids, and that's what we're here for. So Eastmont has had a good history of long-serving superintendents. I probably won't stay as long as Garn, or I'll be 80 years old, but I'm thrilled to have a few years more to do some good work.
Congratulations to her. Emergency dispatchers in Grant County can now receive video from callers who dial 911, if you have a smartphone, of course. MACC 911 recently began using Carbine. That's a software feature that allows callers to share their phone location and access to the camera on their smartphone. The agency says it'll enable it to gather and share more information about an emergency call with the first responders. It's all part of a series of improvements in Washington's 911 systems, which now also allows texting your emergency to operators rather than actually having to make a phone call. The capital budget bill, $1.1 billion total, and it goes to fund public construction and renovation projects throughout Washington state. What does that mean for us? Well, $19.6 million to rebuild the Center for Drug and Alcohol Treatment, $2 million for infrastructure at the Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District, and $1 million each for the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center and the YMCA. The legislature has until March 7th to vote on the expenditures. And speaking of that, while the legislative session is still in session, and they are, the 12th District's 2 state representatives plan to hold a virtual town hall meeting. This will be on Monday because it's a holiday. They're going to help explain what's happening in the House and the Senate. Keith Gaynor and Mike Steele will speak with constituents by online video. It starts at 6:30 Monday night. They are asking that if you're interested in joining the webinar, you need to pre-register. There's the address right there on your screen, or you can scan the QR code. Gaynor says the conversation will include what's gotten past the House so far, what didn't, and what to expect from bills that become law. I'm just a bill, I'm just a bill, and I'm sitting here at 12 minutes after the hour on this Friday. One more newscast to get your weekend going. Grant Olson in the anchor chair. He also handles the weather forecasting. I'll be doing sports, filling in for Eric Granstrom. Get well soon, Eric. The news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 on television, on the World Wide Web at 5 o'clock at ncwlife.com, on the World Wide Web, on our Facebook, on our YouTube page, on our app. That's how you download the app. You scan the QR code. If there's something out there that you think warrants our attention, we'd love to hear news tips. Love to hear from our viewers. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. It's Friday. It'll be an adult portion of sports, but we will not check identification. It's next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select VX and L Series tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months. Contact your Kubota dealer for details.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
Quarter after the hour, Maddie Beniers had a goal, had a couple of assists, and the Seattle Kraken concluded their 5-game road trip with a 4-1 win over Boston in Boston last night. Jordan Eberle, Eli Tolvanen, and Jared McCann also scored for Seattle, and Joey Decord stopped 36 shots to end his personal 3-game losing streak.
Tolvanen back to Beniers. Cross ice. Eberle closes, and Swayman looked the other way, and Eberle scores on the rebound.
Yeah, it's a fairly quick change to get a different power play unit out there when Boston had a couple of easy clears against the unit that started. Beniers got a little speed coming through the neutral zone. They used that delay on the back pass, and he's able to get that puck wide. And before,
perhaps intentionally so, Marchand. Carlo falls 3-on-1. Tolvanen to Beniers to Tolvanen. Catch an edge in the NHL and expect a golden goal-scoring opportunity.
Throughout the entire game, and it's continued here in the second period, and then this happens. It's a simple, nice little play out high to Carlo, who's moving laterally across.
Wotherspoon to forward. Wotherspoon, a one-timer blocked by Wenberg. Beniers, who has 2 assists, scores! The first 3-point game for Matty Beniers in his home away from home rink. Not far from home.
Well, the Bruins had a nice play coming up the ice. Puck possession. They gained entry, got all 5 guys in the offensive zone. They were looking for a shot on net, and they opted for the one-timer by Wotherspoon, and it gets blocked. And you are taught the minute a shot is blocked, if you see you're going to get possession, you fly.
3-0 Florida with 45 seconds left to play in Buffalo. And the Bruins are gonna fall from first place after a 119-day stay. And empty netter seals their.
Kraken begin a 6-game homestand with a matinee. That's right, because it's a holiday. They'll take on the Red Wings in Seattle at 12:30 on Monday afternoon. Men's college basketball, everyone's a winner last night. Graham Ike scored 23 points. He led Gonzaga to a 91-74 victory over Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles. Miles Rice led all scorers with 25 points. The Cougar men have won for 6 straight games now. They beat Callum Pullman 84-65. Husky backup guard Corin Johnson poured in 30 points in an 85-65 blowout of Stanford and Seattle. And Eastern Washington continues its domination of Big Sky play with an 88-82 win over Idaho State. Women's college basketball, you can make it 19 in a row now. For the Gonzaga Lady Bulldogs, they rolled over St. Mary's 96-68. They'll take on Pacific Saturday at 2 o'clock. All right, to high school we go. Sunnyside took a 16-14 lead in the second quarter and never trailed after that. They eliminate the East Small Wildcats from the playoffs with a 51-46 victory last night in East Wenatchee. Grant Olson and Jackson Dodd had the call.
And it's slow to get either offense going so far in this one. 9-8 still our score. Here's Whitehall with it to Ruffins. Looking for help. Kicks it other side, the far side to Bender. Trying to find Whitehall posting up down low. Now the shot taken for 3. Ruffins up and in. Well, it almost had a drive to the basket. Just shut down completely on him. Llewellyn has it back. Still man-to-man defense by the Grizzlies, and what a difference in size with Whitehall and Sanchez. Here's Whitehall down low, up and in, and he's fouled. Into the hands of Rangel Brown. Now it's Briones. Top of the key, Sanchez. Boy, he had a wide open cutting Garcia, just missed him. Back out Sanchez, near side Briones. Briones going to take the shot. He's had the hot hand. Gone. All right, Grizzlies have it. Here's Sanchez facing that 2-3 zone Eastmont defense, and there's Hobson with the steal. Look out! Two-handed dunk. He doesn't get it, but he is fouled in the air, and it's a foul on Chris Rangel Brown.
Top of the key. He shoots. batted away. But picked up by Snyder. West shoots, and it's good. Splash. Right there for West. That's his first points of the game.
And maybe, Jackson, the spark that Eastmont needs.
Snyder, top of the key, goes to the side and finds Schneider. Schneider to West. West goes to Bender. Bender on backside.
Jet Llewellyn.
The second shot will fall into the hands of Ruffins. Ruffins to West. West shoots. Oh, no good. Bender.
Three. That's
right there. That's what they want right there.
That cuts the lead to 4 points, 50-46.
5-point game with 18 seconds left. Clock winding down.
Gotta get a shot off.
Gotta get a shot. Llewellyn shoots. Gonna be no good. Falling to the hands. Sanchez. Sanchez passes. Going to Wava. The signs.
That's it.
And that's it. Eastmont 46. Sunnyside 51. As Sunnyside will advance.
So for Eastmont, their season comes to an end in a huge upset in Yakima last night. Davis, #1 in the state, loses to West Valley. Wow, that was a shocker. All right, the District 6 1B tournament at Wenatchee High School last night. Moses Lake Christian goes on to state. They beat Soap Lake and beat him easily, 78-45. And Waterville Mansfield boys got by Riverside Christian 53-48. So Waterville Mansfield will take on Soap Lake tomorrow at 12:30 at Wenatchee High School in a winner to state game. As far as the girls last night, it's off to state for the Shockers. Waterville Mansfield all over Pateras 58-37, and Antioch got by Soap Lake 33-27. So Waterville Mansfield, you're off to Spokane next weekend. Antioch and Pateras will play tomorrow at 11 a.m. in a winner to state game at Wenatchee High School. Here's your schedule for today. The Eastmont Lady Wildcats in Davis to take on the Pirates for the district championship. It's a winner to state game. The other side of the bracket, this is Moses Lake at West Valley, also at 6 o'clock. The loser of the Eastmont Davis game will take on the winner of the Moses Lake West Valley game for one last chance to state on Saturday. And Tenaska will take on Reardon today in a crossover game. All right, your Saturday schedule. All of these are winner and you go to state. Medical Lake will be at Rondone Gymnasium in Cashmere at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Chelan travels to Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls at 2 o'clock. Again, winner to state and loser out. Girls basketball tomorrow is the District 6 and 7 2B crossover. At Wenatchee High School, Brewster will take on Liberty Spangle at 2, and Okanagan will take on Northwest Christian at 5. And at West Valley in Spokane, it's Davenport and Lake Roosevelt, Colfax and Liberty Bell. All of those games, winner to state, lose, and you're done. As far as boys high school basketball, tonight at Wenatchee High School, again, District 6 and 7 2B crossover. It's Lake Roosevelt against Davenport at 6 o'clock. Winner goes on to state. The loser is done. And at West Valley in Spokane, it's Liberty out of Spangle taking on Okanagan at 5:30. Again, winner to state and loser, you're done. Tomorrow in boys high school basketball in the District 6 4A, in the crossovers, I should say, it's Riverside at Quincy, winner to state, 6 o'clock, and Omak at Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls at 4 o'clock. Again, winner to state, loser out. More games tomorrow in the District 6 and 7 2B boys crossover. It's Brewster and Northwest Christian at 3:30, and Tenasket at Kettle Falls at 6:30. That's at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium. And at West Valley in Spokane, Liberty Bell will take on St. George's, and Manson will take on Colfax. All of those games that you see, if you win, you go to state. If you lose, you don't. And we can't forget about the Wenatchee Wild. Everett Silvertips in town tonight. Hockey fights cancer. Big crowd expected. The Wild are chasing the Silvertips in the Western Conference. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock tonight. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 24 minutes after the hour. Happy National Almond Day. I love almonds, but I don't like plain almonds. I buy the Blue Diamond almonds all the time. They're kind of expensive, but I like them. But I don't like almonds without salt. It's probably offsetting the health benefits. The almond tree is native to Iran and the Middle East, and then around the Mediterranean, and then eventually the almond trees made it all over the world. 80% of the world's almond supply, comes from California, and actually comes from the United States, and 80% of that comes from California. California is without question the almond capital of the world. California cranks out 2.25 billion pounds of almonds every year. Almonds are actually part of the rose family. They need hot weather and cool but not cold winters, which is why California is the perfect climate to grow almonds. Everybody knows the health benefits of almonds. There's tons of them. They got all kinds of different vitamins and minerals and vitamin E and magnesium. They are good for you. Almonds are. And thank you, bees. No pollinization, no almonds. Thank you, bees, for getting the job done. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 101 years ago today, on this date, 1923, Howard Carter unseals the burial chamber of the Pharaoh Tutankhamun, King Tut. King Tut, when he died at the age of, he took over as the Pharaoh when he was 9. He died 10 years later at the age of 19, and they buried him in a tomb way off in the corner that nobody knew was there. It was normally a pharaoh gets buried in a really big chamber that everybody knows where it's at. They just stuck him over there in the corner and forgot about him. And because they stuck him over there and forgot about King Tut, nobody knew where he was until they found it centuries and centuries later, of course, completely intact. So King Tut, in his time, was virtually unknown, and now he's the most famous pharaoh of them all. The famous King Tut mask that we're all familiar with, it weighs 22 pounds, and it's solid gold. And one more fact about King Tut, his parents were siblings. Well, they found the tomb anyway, and they opened it on this date 101 years ago today. 64th anniversary of Operation Sandblast. Nobody had ever done this before. The U.S. Navy, the USS Triton submarine goes down in New London, Connecticut, and it would not surface again for 61 days. 60, what was it? How long ago? It took a long time. It was under the water, never surfaced. And they went all the way around the world, never once. So can you imagine the smell of the Triton when they got done with Operation Sandblast? Whew. Take a shower, guys. That was on this date 64 years ago today. Happy 56th birthday to 911 in Haleyville, Alabama. They still hold a 911 festival every year on this date because Haleyville, Alabama was the first town ever to install a 911 phone system in 1968. The Federal Communications Commission estimates that roughly half of the 911 calls in New York City are false alarms. That comes out to about 84 million calls a year. If you accidentally call 911, you didn't mean to, butt dial or whatever, don't hang up because the dispatcher is going to call you back. Stay on the line, even if it's not an emergency, and you say, I'm sorry, Rivercom or whoever, didn't mean to, my bad, because if you call 911 by accident, then you hang up, they're going to call you back. Of course, more than 80%, something like 85% of all emergency calls are now made by smartphones and cell phones, but they're getting better with technology, with tracing your phone. As a matter of fact, if you are in an emergency and you dial 911 but you can't talk, the operators, the 911 dispatchers, are trained to walk you through, get on your keypad, are you choking? Push 1, or are you having a heart attack, or somebody's breaking into your house and you can't talk? They've trained to let you do that on the phone so they can hear to the tone and figure out what the heck's going on. Happy birthday to 911. And the National Hockey League on this date 19 years ago cancels the entire 2004-2005 regular season and playoffs. It is the only time in the history of North American professional sports that an entire season was wiped out because of a labor dispute. That's the Stanley Cup. Sorry, no games this year. Birthdays. I love to read nonfiction. It's my preferred way of consuming books, and I had no idea about Henry Adams until the close of the century in 1999 when the Modern Library named the book, The Education of Henry Adams, as the best nonfiction book of the 20th century. So I decided to do my homework, and I read the book. It's really good. Henry Adams, his paternal grandfather was John Quincy Adams, and his great-great-grandfather was John Adams. So he kind of grew up in history, then he wrote about it. It's a good book. He was born in the state in 1838. Poor Dick McDonald. Here's Richard. He and his brother, of course, founded McDonald's. Sold out to Ray Kroc in the early 1960s for $1 million. But he started it, Richard McDonald. one half of the McDonald's brothers, born in the state in 1909. And Ice-T, the American rapper and actor. I got to meet Ice-T. Of course, they shot that god-awful movie, Surviving the Game, here in Wenatchee in North Central Washington back in the early 1990s. Got to meet Ice-T, came into my record store, got an autographed photo of Ice-T. Don't know what happened to it. I lost it somewhere. He's a nice guy. He's 66 years old today. Happy birthday to Ice. And thank you to Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are platinum sponsors here at the NCW Life Channel. Special thanks to our gold sponsor, Pool to Spa Services. Go see the Prex down there by Pybus Public Market. Get your hot tub or get your pool ready to go for the spring and the summer. And Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, also a gold sponsor here at the NCW Life Channel. Mike McNaughty is next. His opinion topic today, politics is dumb. And then Tom Nees, our good buddy Tom Nees, who's transitioning to a brand new role from Serve Wenatchee Valley to something he's quite familiar with. We love it when Tom pays us a visit, and you will too. That conversation is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Welcome to the newest and funnest fashion boutique on Wooden, featuring mountain chic clothing and men's footwear from UGG, Brixton, Sorel, and Free People. Walk on into the Tiffany Blue Building on the second block of Wooden and check it out.
It is nearly impossible to describe what you'll find in Lush Life. It's an eclectic collection of items from around the world. See it for yourself at the corner of Wooden and Emerson.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district. When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma of stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Welcome to Gilded Lily Home, where something extraordinary is waiting. You'll be delighted to find an amazing selection of specialty foods and tabletop decor. Browse their uniquely curated collection of gifts. Shop for yourself in their wide collection of jewelry and clothing, and for your home with their amazing hand-selected furniture, lighting, and decor. The Gilded Lily Home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, and your lifestyle.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So a friend posted on Facebook that Jesus was a socialist because he told us to feed people. Well, I mentioned that there's a difference. Jesus told me to feed people. He didn't tell the government to make me feed people. So, of course, some people jumped on my case for being, self-righteous, blah, 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 whatever I don't know. But look, you can attribute Jesus to your economic philosophy or your political beliefs, right or left. But it's not a question about whether Jesus is on your side or not. It's a question of whether or not you are on his side. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
At
Boswell's. Take 10% off our extensive collection of stressless recliners and sofas, or get $400 off stressless Max and Mike recliners in luxurious Paloma leather, or classic power base recliners in any cover. Plus, get 10% off the new Stressless Sky customizable luxury mattress. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Every once in a while, Tom Nees from Serve Wenatchee Valley, the Chief Hope Officer, sends me an email. He says, Dan, I understand the ratings on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley are just way down. Let's do something about that. Let's have me on the show. Pick those ratings up, because they just skyrocket when Tom Nees from Serve Wenatchee Valley visits the show. And I said, oh, why not, Tom? I was on vacation. I actually responded to his email. Tom Nees, everybody, the Chief Hope Officer of Serve Wenatchee Valley, but not much longer. Let's start with that. I think it's common knowledge. If it isn't, it's about ready to be. You're you have two jobs, and two jobs it just isn't going to cut it anymore, and you decided to change focus a little bit. Talk about that.
Yeah. So Serve Wenatchee Valley about 4 years ago started an effort, Common Ground Community Housing Trust. It was an effort to increase our affordable housing inventory in our community. You know, what we saw as an organization is that we're a homeless prevention organization, so keeping families safely in their homes by offering rent assistance, utility assistance. What we saw was the increasing rents, the low inventory was making the problem significantly more difficult, because where, you know, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, somebody needed rent assistance, but it was because they had a car breakdown and they couldn't pay their rent and their car. So
or
they needed
a medical emergency.
Exactly.
They had
something happened.
Some immediate out-of-pocket expense that they weren't expecting. Yeah.
Now, what we're seeing is that the need for rent assistance is this month, and it's next month. It's chronic. And it's next month. And so it's kind of perpetual, and we know that we need to create an affordable housing inventory in our community. So Serve Wenatchee was the fiscal sponsor for this project. Over the course of the last 3 years, I've served in both roles, getting Common Ground started and continuing to lead and work with Serve Wenatchee in the community to advance that cause. Over the course of the last year, we've now got a project with Common Ground that is working. We've got projects that we're working on in the pipeline, and the workload has dramatically increased. And so I mentioned just a minute ago that Serve Wenatchee is an adolescent organization at about 22 years old. Common Ground is an infant organization of about 2 years old. And so the need for care and building that to be able to deliver on our commitment to add affordable housing inventory needs my full-time attention. And so I announced to our leadership team in January that I would be making this transition, and so they're actively pursuing the next leader that comes in. And organization is well established, doing amazing things, has a great support network in this community that believes and understands our mission, and the organization is going to find someone that will be able to step in there and continue to advance that cause and that need.
I think most people know that Tom, in his role as Chief Hope Officer, is answerable to a board of directors. You're not the head you're the head cheese, but there's
I got 9 bosses.
You got more than that actually, if you think about it. So how do they at that meeting? How do they take the news? Your board.
I think they were very affirming of that because Common Ground was at the heart of Serve Wenatchee at its very beginning, and so it was very affirming. I'm still here in town, so I'm going to help with transition even after I step into that full-time role. I want to help with any transition, coming on and introducing the new leader of Serve Wenatchee, possibly with you one of these days. I think we did that with Bob Shepard.
We did. You came in with Bob Shepard 5 years ago, whenever it was.
Yeah. And so they took that news well, and I think they perhaps could see it because they knew and could see my heartbeat for this, and the need for inventory in this community is among the top needs community-wide that we have here. And to do something creative, responsive to that, the timing is now.
And change is good. Change is good from a personal standpoint, just to give yourself, you have a skill set that you can take to your new job, which is kind of your old job anyway. And a change in leadership is nothing wrong with that.
Now, I would put it this way, that change is inevitable. The inevitability of change is just universal. It's the transition that kills us. And so how we navigate that change and how we move forward in the midst of that inevitable change, I think is key.
And we cannot stress this enough. Yes, Tom is leaving Serve Wenatchee Valley, but he's not going anywhere. This is kind of a double whammy because your right-hand gal is also, after many years of great service, is retiring.
She is
moving off to retirement. So now we have to talk about that.
So Teresa, actually she's the longest standing employee. She was hired about seven and a half years ago. I was about 6.5 years ago, and so she was there a year before me. She has had and worn many hats. She's just an amazing lady that has decided that it's time for her to retire and pull back some of that time. And so, yeah, we've got a couple of things going on. I'm interviewing right now and working to find another office and operations manager to step into that role. And so we will have that position filled in advance of the new executive director position that steps in.
The executive director position, your position, is the job search is underway. I believe it's still posted. It takes a unique skill set. Are you going to play any role at all in the hiring of your replacement, or are you just going to let the board handle that?
I'm not going to take a frontline role in that, but because I have institutional knowledge about the role and about what is done, I will have some back end working with the board and the search committee just through the process, but it's going to be background. Won't be out front.
In your new role, because this, as we talked about, this started out as an offshoot of Serve Wenatchee Valley under the umbrella. Is it going to continue to be under the umbrella, so to speak?
No,
or is it going to be more of a standalone?
It's a standalone. We actually got our own nonprofit status back in August of 21. And so we're coming up on our 3rd year here that we are working on. And so it is a standalone nonprofit organization that moving forward.
Where does the money come from for you to go out and address the affordable housing crisis? And it's a crisis. We're not going to sugarcoat that. It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's the truth. Where does the dough come from?
Well, there's a couple of different ways that we're structured. So you've got organizational funding that we need. Office rent, paying staff, things like that. Then you've got the project funding, and some of that crosses over because you will get some grant funding or some funding over here that will help the administration of this. But really, our support right now is coming from Chelan County, from the city of Wenatchee, from philanthropic donations that come in here. We got a nice donation last year from the Housing Authority. on a project that they did. Banks, local banks are supporting our work, and so really there's a philanthropic outreach to support this work because we are a nonprofit organization. The funding for the projects is a couple of different ways. We did get some ARPA funding to be able to make our first acquisition on the project I mentioned to you, which incidentally is right next to Sangster Motors on 9th Street.
I saw that,
drive by and take a look at that.
Place.
Yep. We've actually, in deference to the family that was there, it's called Crail Cottages, and
Good.
so that's what we're doing. They've sold that to us at a little bit of a discounted cost, and so we got some grant funding through CPIF funding. We've reached out for some state funding. And then because our model is that we're building houses that will be sold, so we're going to sell these somewhere around 180 to 200,000, right in that range, new homes at that price. Some of the funding for the construction is also going to come through construction loan financing because we can go borrow money, use that. When we sell them, we can pay that loan off, and so a significant part of that cash is going to come from future sale of the homes that we build.
The location of, as we mentioned, the old Krill place right by Sangster Motors on 9th Street, great location, not a particularly big lot, and we've talked about this before. Right. That's the biggest challenge for you is there's only X amount of real estate out there that isn't already being built on.
Right.
And we're there's only so much real estate to be had.
Yeah.
And that by nature drives the price of a lot up. So is that still number one on the challenge, just to find
it? It is, yeah. And so what we're working on right now is we're working on this project. We're going to break ground. As a matter of fact, yesterday we submitted permits to the to the city planning department for the next phase in our construction there. But we're working on the next project, looking for a piece of land. And yeah, the lot is small. It is a 0.4 acre lot that had an existing home on it. The home that was on it was built in 1928. And so we tore that house down. It's now a bare piece of land, and we're going to put 8 housing units in its place. We're doing a cottage development, which gives you a density bonus, so we can fit those in there on that piece of land. And in a valley like we live in, as much as maybe the public does not like to hear this, we're going to have to increase density in order to get the number of housing units to come in and not only take care of the pent-up demand that we have, but also any future growth. Both of those things are working, against broad expansion. But I think partnerships are going to be key with this. There are some bigger pieces of property that are out there, and maybe Common Ground doesn't take the entire, if we find a 7.5 acre piece of land, maybe we work in partnership with another nonprofit organization or something to put something else in there to serve the community, an education or learning center, something like that, and then we use some of the acres to be able to infill some of the houses.
Or you could take, you could find a 5 acre piece of land, and I'm just spitballing here, you can buy the 5 acres and turn around and sell 2.5 of it for a small profit, and then that gives you seed money to develop the other 2.5 acres, as an example.
We are just really being, and I think you need to be right now, wildly creative about how we, approach this. And our local jurisdictions are, including the cities and the counties. Our footprint for Common Ground is the Wenatchee and Eastmont school district boundaries, so both sides of the river. We've got to be creative and working with our local jurisdictions to deliver on this, because they're mandated from the State Department of Commerce to plan for and accommodate for a certain amount of development that is affordable to families in the community. That simply.
And you brought up a significant point. We need to stress this. It's not just empty lots. I mean, the Krell house is a perfect example. It was an existing house. It was nearly 100 years old. You bought the property. You tore the house down. It allows you to bring in more housing. So you're not necessarily just concentrating on undeveloped pieces of property. You can find places like the Krell house that the house itself has outlived its usefulness.
Sure.
And go in that direction. So it gives you some flexibility in that regard.
And another part of the model is that we may come up with a house that somebody wants to make available, that we simply go in and renovate it and do a nonprofit flip on it. We go in and renovate it, bring it into our portfolio, sell it at an affordable price, and we don't do anything with tearing the house down. There are situations like that may work in our community too.
When you get funding from municipalities, be it city, county, state, federal, do they just say, here you go, you're the experts, we're not going to tell you what to do with the money we're giving you? Or is there some strings attached because it's government money, taxpayer money?
Yeah, there is a lot of the money that you will get specifically for project funding if you go to the state, or ARPA, funding that we got, or CPIF. They do have some requirements and some reporting on there. So for instance, the ARPA funding we got, we needed to make sure that our project was going to be at, for households earning 80% or less of our area median income. And so we then have to price the houses that are consistent with what a household could pay if they made 80% of our area median income. So some of those strings are attached in there. Our commitment as an organization is that we are going to 80 to 85% of everything that we do is going to be below 80% of our area median income. That gives us the flexibility to, like you talked about, a creative way. You get 5 acres. We could go in there and develop the entire 5 acres and sell half of them at market rate and use that additional cash to fill the gap, because that's what that's what this thing is all about, is about filling that affordability gap. If it takes $400,000 to build, you can sell it for $2 million. You've got $200,000 a gap that you've got to fill, either through grant funding or philanthropic funding, or there's all kinds of creative ways. We're getting a waiver from the Chelan PUD because we're building them at less than 80%. The hookup fees are going to be waived. And that's from Chelan PUD. We've got a reduction in some of the permitting costs by not having to pay some of the extra things that are normally attached to permitting through the city of Wenatchee. And so all of those things that are added to that help fill that gap.
A couple more questions for Tom Dees, the outgoing Chief Hope Officer of Serve Wenatchee Valley. On a personal note, every year when our family gets together for the holidays, we use your furniture ministry, I guess, is that what we want to call it? We rent furniture from Tom because he has you have a warehouse that you rent space from that has washers and dryers and furniture and beds, and we rent it. We gave you money, right? Did we give you money?
You did.
Okay, just want to make sure on that.
Yeah.
How do people, hey, I bought a new couch, I got an old couch, I'm getting rid of it. I don't want to take it to the dump. It's a good couch. How does that marriage work so people understand if you have a good solid piece of furniture that somebody could use it through the Serve Wenatchee Valley organization could use it? How does that marriage come together so people know about this?
Well, I mean, this conversation right here helps get that word out. We've had this for a long time. We do have folks that will reach out to us and say, just like you said, there's some estate sales that happen and they've got some things that didn't sell at the estate sale, and they'll give us a call and we'll go pick it up. Right now, our outgoing, it's called Refind, our furniture outreach. Refind is closed for outgoing furniture, but it's not for incoming because we need to rebuild the storehouse, so to speak, through this winter.
You can always use
these
furniture.
Winter months, and
always.
And so basically, they just need to call Serve Wenatchee and call the office and say, I've got some furniture, to donate and make available, and we'll work with them to either go and get it or be down there at our warehouse and bring it in.
And it's as long as it's serviceable, and it's not just furniture, it's washers and dryers and appliances and anything that you don't need anymore that is still operational. Tom and his crew will take it off his hand. One last question before we cut you loose. In your new transition, what's the relationship between yourself and your organization and contractors? Because if you're going to do this, somebody's got to build it. And contractors are contractors. They're going to say, I can build this house for a lot more money than I can build this house for Tom. How do you approach the people who are actually building these places?
Yeah, we've gone through the process of finding contractors that understand our mission and want to be a part of it, and that's a really important part, because maybe they won't charge a 15% cost plus contract. Maybe it's at 10. you know, and so we are looking for people that believe in the mission, but at the same time, we know that there are, you know, construction workers in our community that deserve to be paid. And so we're not looking for any one source to be able to fill that gap. It's all little sources. And so we simply, in approaching contractors, we talk about this is what we are endeavoring to do. And I think that there's going to be a lot of this building. If you look at the numbers of affordable houses that our jurisdictions are needing to be able to deliver in the next 20 years, it's a significant number. And so I think we have an opportunity to keep a contractor busy. And I think contractors like that. They like something in the pipeline, and so they can count on it and they know it's there. But there's a little give and take in that as well.
Well, it's a challenge that you are obviously well versed to do, and your 62-hour-a-week job is going to go back down to 58 hours a week, Tom, because you know you don't have to worry about wearing two hats at the same time. Yeah. When the new executive director, or the new chief hope officer, as Tom likes to refer to it, for Wenatchee Valley, is on board and the papers are signed, let's get him on here, or her, whoever it may be, and we'll introduce that person to the Wenatchee Valley, courtesy of this highly rated television program, because Tom Nees is on it. Can you feel the ratings go sky high?
I can. I almost feel myself sitting up a little taller.
Well, we got new software. It's a machine that if my show falls below a 37 share, we go off the air automatically. It's just right there.
That's perfect.
We're hanging right at a 38. Tom Nees, that's Tom with an H, by the way. Best of luck with your new endeavors. You know where to find me, buddy.
I do.
Even when I'm on vacation, I'm answering your emails.
I know. I know you are.
It was something along the line of, I'm on vacation, don't bug me. Tom, it's good to see you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Don't be a stranger.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
Your home runs on hot water. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the laundry. So Rheem offers a wide variety of water heaters, from traditional models to ones smart enough to tell you how much hot water is available. On second thought, perhaps the laundry can wait.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Gobs of gooey good sunshine, very pleasant morning, a little on the cool side. It's only 23 outside of our studios here in beautiful downtown Wenatchee, Washington, but we're in for a pretty nice day today if you like sunshine, and I'm one of those guys who likes sunshine. And then Mother Nature is going to flip the script a little bit. Gradual warming trend, that's the good news. The bad news, we're not going to see a lot of sunshine once we get through today. From the National Weather Service, one more look at your forecast. Again, sunny today, very nice, very pleasant. Get out and enjoy while you can. We'll top off about 37, give or take a couple. Clouds start rolling in tonight, not a great deal, but they'll be hanging around. 24 for the overnight low. A little bit of sunshine early Saturday morning gives way to clouds for the most part. We're going to be dry on Saturday with a high of 39. Saturday night, slight chance of some light rain, I think, 32. For the overnight low on Saturday night. Sunday, a 40% chance of rain. That would be in the morning hours because the snow level is going to be at 2,300 feet. We'll have lots of clouds, and it's going to be way too warm on Sunday for snow. We'll be in the lower 40s anyway. For the holiday, President's Day, if in fact you have the day off, patchy fog, a few clouds, snow level about 2,800 feet. We'll top off about 42 and warmer still by the middle of next week. That's it for us. Have yourself a great weekend. We will see you Monday. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
Greetings, North Central Washington. Welcome to Networked, the show that brings you the brightest minds and inspiring stories from the world of technology, community development, and beyond. I'm your host, Jenny Rojanasatian, the Executive Director of NCW Tech Alliance, and I am so thrilled to have you join us today. On this episode of Networked, we have a very special guest joining us, a true powerhouse who's making a tremendous impact in our community. Rosa Polito, who was born and raised right here in the Valley. Rosa brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. With a background in public relations and a long history of working with nonprofits across the community,